Here's an interesting one for aviators and enthusiasts. Let's say you're flying on an easterly track and you have a direct crosswind. Let's assume it's coming from north. The question is whether you'll have a headwind component or tailwind component on your track. If your answer is 0, let's discuss. Let's consider a velocity triangle. Here the wind vector is 360, winds are coming from north, magnitude is unknown, track is 090, and air vector, let's assume that speed is 180 knots. Now to solve these kind of questions, we'll have to take it in a reverse order. That is, I'm going to assume that the headwind is 5 knots. If I assume my headwind is 5 knots, my task is 180 knots, my ground speed becomes 175 knots. Now hold that thought. Take your flight computer or E6P. On the circular scale, take track of 360. That's the place from where the winds are coming. On the center dot, keep 180 knots and mark an estimate of 35 to 40 knots down with a pencil. We are estimating that is the winds that we are going to get from the track 360. Okay. Now turn the circular scale until you get a track of 090 and the dot reads 175 knots. With this, you will be able to verify that your drift is 14 degrees and your heading is 076 on the air vector. Now rest of the problem becomes easy because now I have a ground speed of 175 knots on the track 090, drift is 14 degrees and task is 180 knots. All I have to find out is the component of wind. I'm going to do it using trigonometry. You can also use a circular scale. I find trigonometry much easier. So here the drift is 14 degrees. So I'm going to take tan of 14 degrees is equal to magnitude of wind, that is x. We're going to assume it as x divided by ground speed is 175 knots. So when I solve this, I get the magnitude of wind as 43 knots. So for a crosswind of 43 knots, we get a headwind of 5 knots, which we had assumed in the start of the problem. The reason for this is fairly simple. The track is 090. To maintain this track, we need to turn the aircraft to a heading of 076. That is, the longitudinal axis of the aircraft is not aligned at 90 degrees to the wind vector, because of which we get a headwind of 5 knots. Now here's a question for you. What if the track is reversed to 270? Will it be a headwind or a tailwind component? Like, share and follow for more. Thank you.